Hi guys, I just woke up, got myself a coffee. Obviously, I don't know if you guys know the wife's away for a few more days. She's back in 3 days, I think. She's on holiday, having a 40th with her best friend. Um, so I've got to quickly do this while the kids are asleep. I'm hoping I can quickly read this Rolling Stone article concerning Brigitte Kruse and Priscilla and the signing of the contracts. So it's a fly on the wall thing, isn't it? There's a 27-minute video at the end of it. Now I can't get it up on the laptop. It only lets me read it on my phone. I'm not really sure why. It's trying to get me to subscribe and log and all that. So I'm going to quickly read it. A big topic yesterday with Brigitte and Priscilla. I did watch Joe at Rare Elvis Photos. His take on things. I love Joe. He's a great guy. I love his channel, but I'm not as what's the word? I'm not quite ready to have Joe's opinion. Joe's opinion is very much leaning towards Brigitte, and in the way of, how can I explain it? That he sees things very much from her point of view. I think he's very fair to Brigitte. Yeah. I'm not there. I think we need more information. I think we really do need to understand the ins and outs of everything before we can make a decision, before we choose who we're going to side with. And with respect to Joe, he does come across very much like he's already been won over by Brigitte. Now, I'm not against Brigitte. I like her. She's friendly. She's polite, respectful. But this is a very complicated situation that seriously impacted on Riley, Finley and Harper, even Lisa Marie. So we're not ready to just go, okay, then, Brigitte, you get a green light from us. No, we as fans are saying we need to know more. This whole situation was very complicated. This affected many things. So, unearthed Priscilla Presley video raises new questions in elder abuse. Presley claims she was duped into signing I can't say that word. Unconscionable contracts. A new video shows her signing the agreement. Last July, Priscilla Presley claimed in a stunning lawsuit that she was a victim of meticulously planned financial elder abuse scheme that defrauded her out of more than $1 million. The author, actress, and ex-wife of Elvis Presley alleged that Florida memorabilia dealer Brigitte Kruse duped her into signing unconscionable and unenforceable contracts that gave Kruse full control of her finances and exclusive rights to her valuable name, image, and likeness. Kruse disputed the allegations, claiming Presley was facing impending financial ruin when she stepped in to help rescue the cultural icon in her own breach of contract lawsuit filed against Presley in October 2023. Kruse said that essentially shut down her auction business to help manage Presley's life full-time. She said her 51% share of Priscilla Presley Partners, the main company formed to own and control Presley's publicity rights, reflected on her indispensable role. Presley received 49%. A pivotal moment describes in both lawsuit and videotape document signing session held at Kruse's Florida home on January the 8th, 2023. At the meeting, Presley was represented by Florida lawyer Lynn Walker Wright as Presley signed contracts formalizing several new companies. Presley claims she was ambushed and defrauded, adding that Walker Wright was Kruse's friend and that she was asked to sign the document with no explanation of the contents of each agreement. I've only just woke up, guys, so yeah, give me a chance. But I understand that. Okay. See, I hadn't read this yesterday, so now I'm reading it. I'm learning as I go. In a sworn statement last year, Presley said Walker Wright failed to advise her of potential downsides, including the agreement gave her only minority interest in everything, in some cases, only 20%. Presley's lawsuit called Kruse a con artist, a pathological liar who took advantage of an elderly. Presley was 77 at the time. Rolling Stone has now obtained a recording of that meeting. The video being shared publicly for the first time gives a new window into arguably the most crucial juncture in the high-profile and deeply contentious legal battle. The Presley supporters will note that dramatic moment when Presley makes it clear on camera that she hadn't a chance to read the documents. So she says, "Geez, it's a lot of paper. I'm glad I didn't have to sit here and read it." Presley says, "I'm glad you read it." She continues reaching out to pat Walker Wright's arm. She pats Walker Wright's arm. But at other stages of the meeting, Presley states more than once that she is signing the contracts of her own free will because she trusts Kruse. She appears fully cognizant throughout the 27-minute video and looks relaxed and polished. So we're going to try and find that and play that video, okay, guys? Dressed in designer outfit, at one point she discusses having attended a high-profile social engagement the night before where she met Donald Trump. I mean, that's interesting. She met Donald Trump. Isn't that interesting, guys? It was actually quite a fun evening. It really was. Presley says, "We sat at the table with Trump and his beautiful wife, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was very entertaining. I got to meet the family." So I will say this, guys. The only reason that Priscilla ever got to meet someone like Donald Trump is because she once was married to Elvis. That says it all, doesn't it? It opens so many doors for that lady, and she still uses the Presley name to open the doors, doesn't she? Mrs. Presley, has anyone tried to twist your arm in any way and duly influencing you into making any decisions that you are going to have to sign today? Walker Wright asks, with Presley seated next to her, the home theatre at Kruse, Florida residence. So it was in a home theatre in Florida. And it was Brigitte Kruse's, it was actually Brigitte Kruse's home theatre. Brigitte Kruse is a wealthy woman, guys. Not at all. Presley says in a soft voice, Presley confirms on camera that it was her decision to award Kruse power of attorney and install Kruse as a new co-trustee of her estate alongside Presley's cousin Barbara Iverson. In the video, Walker Wright explains that Kruse and Iverson are replacing Presley's former business manager, Barry Siegel, and asks why Presley is seeking the switch. "I believe in them," Presley says of Kruse and Iverson, "and I trust them, and they know a lot of my business." So it was Barry. I wondered if it was Barry Siegel. Walker Wright then asked Presley if there's anyone else that she wants in the room for the document signing. Probably Brigitte. Presley says Walker Wright acknowledges for the camera that Kruse has joined them in the room. "Hi, Miss Presley," Kruse says in a soft voice from a position off camera. When Presley confirms that she personally requested that Kruse join them in a witness, Kruse calls the gesture so sweet. Okay, I mean, Brigitte has said she didn't want to be there. She didn't even want it filmed. The first document Walker Wright asked Presley to sign is an acknowledgement that Walker Wright is representing Presley personally while also acting as a lawyer who drafted the contracts between Kruse, Presley, and third partner business advisor Kevin Fialco. It's a document that protects me, so all three of you all know that I've got the hat on where I've done LLCs, but I'm representing you personally, so nothing is in conflict. So, there's something not right in that. Walker Wright says, without missing a beat, the lawyer turns to the signature page and Presley signs. Walker Wright later stated in the declaration filed in California that she saw no conflict in her role representing both Kruse and Presley because the parties signed self-prepared agreement in October 2022 outlining their business relationship. She determined that the partnership had already been negotiated, she wrote. See, that is dodgy. That is dodgy. She's representing both of them. Come on, guys. That ain't right. So before we start taking sides and who's right and who's wrong and making decisions on this whole situation, we need to learn everything, which is, I think Joe has jumped the gun a bit. And I think he needs to hold his horses a bit and let's learn more. I love Joe, but his video is too quick to support Brigitte. We need to learn more. I'm not against Brigitte, but we need to learn more. In the video, Presley signs a document creating Priscilla Presley's partners, the company that gave Kruse the controlling 51% stake in Presley's intellectual property. This company now will manage your name, image, and likeness, and it is very private and confidential. So I'm going to have to sign that first so I can put that away, Walker Wright says. Do I get copies of these, says Priscilla Presley. Yes, ma'am. Walker Wright responds, there's only one set of originals because I don't want there to be more than one. They will go back with me today and I will be in charge of the chain of custody of this. Walker Wright stated in September declaration that she shared at least some of the documents with Presley in San Diego based attorney ahead of time. In a separate declaration filed in November, Presley said that she had no knowledge of that. See, that's dodgy. That's dodgy, guys. In the video, Walker Wright then describes the document giving Kruse power of attorney, means that she can manage your business affairs when you can't. This means that she can do your banking for you. This means that she can speak to, and I don't know, business persons for you. This means that she can do your banking for you. I mean, that to me is just crazy. This means that you can speak to. I don't know business persons for you. This is what she will have to take care of, your business. It is good during your lifetime. Walker Wright says, I don't like thinking about that kind of stuff. Kruse says off camera, referring to any suggestion that she might need to make decisions for Presley due to incapacitating illness. Neither do I, Presley says, eliciting laughter in the room. I will always work for Navarone on that. Kruse says, still off camera, referring to Presley's adult son, Navarone Garibaldi, I will be hand in hand with Navarone. If anything ever happens, my thing is I just want to be there for him. I think that says a lot as well on why this decision was made. Presley thanks Kruse for placing a hand to her heart. Walker Wright then has Presley sign a residential lease for a property owned by Kruse, by Kruse's husband. The lawyer mentions that the husband, Vahi Mike Sicilan, by name, but does not specify on camera that it's a 5-year lease. It is going to be your Florida address because you are going to be our neighbour, the lawyers say. So we've heard about this property, haven't we? Yes, Presley responds, okay, I get it. The moment is notable considering Presley has claimed in multiple filings that she did not want or need the lease, never occupied the Orlando property, and had no idea Kruse's husband owned it. That's interesting. Don't forget, Brigitte is going to have to prove all these things, isn't she? And she may do. Yeah, I just want to make it clear, I'm not anti Brigitte Kruse. I just want to get closer to the truth. Yeah. When it was time for Presley to sign the contract, creating a virtual recollection, the company set up to develop Presley-related holograms, NFTs, and other digital projects. Walker Wright said nothing on camera about how Kruse and Fialco would receive separate 40% shares, while Presley would receive 20% shares. Yeah, okay, that's worrying. In her lawsuit, Presley called the split egregious and outrageous. I only need your signature right there, the lawyer says on the video, turning to the signature page. The next document was for a similarly titled company recollection, of Priscilla Presley, which was set up to collect money from any transaction where Presley offers her personal recollection to authenticate and ostensibly increase the value. Presley's family memorabilia. That contract signed by Presley gave Kruse 40% for Presley and 43% for Fialco. No, let's say that again. Kruse 47%, Presley 43%, and Fialco, who's her husband, I think, 10%. Let me just have a look. Right, I think we're gonna have to do this in two parts. I think this is very long. Right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna come back and do a part two. I'm gonna upload this now. It's very interesting. I'm not fully awake yet, but let's practice. I'm gonna upload this now, and then we're gonna come back to part two. Okay, guys. All of it, we're learning as we go. I'm just a fan. I'm no expert. I'm no researcher. We're trying to understand what went on between Priscilla and Brigitte and the consequences of what went on, how this affected Lisa, how this affects Riley, Finley, and Harper, how Priscilla benefited from all of this, how Brigitte Kruse and her partner, is it her husband, benefit from this. We're trying to understand. I'll be honest with you, I'm concerned about lots of the things in that and that we've been learning about over the last 6, 7, 8 months. Brigitte Kruse has been on our show and has contacted us a few times and recently contacted us yesterday, but she's also been speaking to Joe at Rare Hours Photos. So she has an agenda. I think she does feel that she wants the fans on side for this situation with Priscilla. I think the whole thing is a nightmare for both of them, for Priscilla and for Brigitte Kruse. It's very obvious that Brigitte is really struggling in the way of emotionally with her family concerning this lawsuit, these lawsuits. Obviously, she runs GWS Auctions, a massive auction company with her associates. So I'm sure she's trying to protect that as well. She's a very hardworking business entrepreneur. I do find her very respectful and polite, and she comes across very honest. But the stuff that she's been involved with is very complicated, and the Elvis fans are very concerned of any wrongdoing towards Lisa and the knock-on effect with Riley and Finley and Harper. So it isn't just as simple as Brigitte being a friendly, kind person, a person that is easy to talk to. She's a businesswoman. She's trying to make money, big money. Yeah. So we as fans, Elvis fans, are concerned what has gone on secretly behind the scenes with Priscilla and Brigitte. Did any of what they did cause harm for Elvis's legacy? So this is big, guys. This is big. So I'm not ready, like Joe is at Rare Elvis Photos, to go, okay, Brigitte has had a tough time, but she's okay. I'm not ready for that. We need to learn more. But I'm a big fan of Joe at Rare Elvis Photos. Okay, guys? Thanks. I'm going to upload this now.